recanting a story that I heard years ago, decades ago. There was a beautiful little indigenous boy from the Cherokee tribe who was having a dream, a nightmare, woke up, ran to his grandfather who happened to be the shaman, and he said, "Grandfather, grandfather, I was having this dream, and there was two wolves fighting, and one wolf was really angry and mean, and it went down all those characteristics. And the other wolf was really loving and kind, and grandfather, who's going to win the fight?" And the grandfather said, the grandfather asked, "So which one won the fight?" He said, "I don't know, the drumming stopped and I woke up. Grandfather, who's going to win the fight?" So the wise shaman said, "Which one are you going to feed?" So I'm asking you, are you feeding your faith or your fear? However you define faith. Trust, wherever you want to put that. It's not theological, right? Or it can be, either one. Spiritual, theological, trust in life, wherever you want to run with that. So I'm shooting this right now and today because, well, for a lot of reasons. But one is a unique perspective. One, I really have a unique perspective on many reasons, but one practically is I was just in a hotel room a couple days ago, and which isn't new, I travel a lot, but I don't have a TV. I've gotten rid of a TV over 20 years ago. Literally, no TV. Matter of fact, many of you know that previously I lived on 70 acres in a cabin in the woods with no water, electricity. So literally no TV, right? And now we actually live in 92-acre property that has water and electricity, yet there is no cell phone. We're so rural, there's no cell phone coverage or internet access. So I really don't, yep. Anyways, the reason I'm sharing that is because I haven't been exposed to the constant, which is why I got rid of it 20 years ago, to the constant input of information. So I have a unique perspective. It's like I'm an alien. I get to show up on this planet and go, wow, that's interesting, because I don't have an emotional charge or connection to that information. Okay? So that's the reason for this flow. If it resonates, stay and play. If not, go about your day, right? Whatever serves you. So I consider this a PSA. Do you remember the PSAs, a public service announcement? They were originally garnered to generate awareness for the public. So for free, right? They were supposedly by the media for public interest to generate information for the public, to be of service, public service announcement. So this is my PSA for you. And I happen to be the media right now, not the mass media. And you'll soon discover there's a distinction in that, yeah. So let's go. It's 1491, the year 1491. Now, if you went up and asked anybody walking on the planet at that point, what was the shape of the Earth? Well, of course, it's flat. And what would happen if you sailed out there? Well, of course, you'd fall off the edge of the Earth and die. Bad day. Now, how many of the millions of people that were on the planet at the time actually sailed out there to check into that truth? How many do you think? I don't know the answer either, but I guarantee you it wasn't that many. Very few number of people actually went out and checked, hey, if you sail out there, do you fall off? And so how did they all know? How did the whole rest of the human population know that to be true, that it was flat? Because that's what they were told. Interesting, right? That's what they were told. So in 2020, we were also told something, that there was a pandemic. Well, how did everybody know? Because we were told by mass media, and still are every second of every day. Now hang with me. Hang with me. Just stay to the flow and you'll see where I'm going with this. Now, let me ask you this, right? Because you were told that information. How about these numbers? 16,000, over 16,000 US veterans take their own life every single year. Close to 45, somewhere around that number, every single day. People who committed to go out and protect this country, put their lives on the line, come home and take their own life. Do you hear those numbers? 16,000 every single year. Why don't you hear those numbers? How about 365,000 children went missing in the US in just 2020 alone, reported to the FBI? Do you hear those numbers? No. How about 650,000 people are injured and 14,000 have died Now, this is reported to the CDC, it's on their website, from just taking the COVID vaccine. Do you hear those numbers? No. So you hear constantly certain numbers, cases and fatalities, you hear those numbers, but you don't hear other numbers. Why is that? Have you ever heard the term gaslighting? So gaslighting actually comes from a film and a play from 1944, hence the name, Gaslighting. And the plot was, there was the husband was going to steal from the wife, and in order to do so, he consistently manipulated her to make her think she was crazy in order to pull this off, right? So, by definition, that's why I have paper in my hands. Gaslighting is a form of manipulation that occurs in abusive relationships. It is an insidious and sometimes covert type of emotional abuse where the bully or the abuser makes the target question their judgments and reality. Ultimately, the victim of gaslighting starts to wonder if they're losing their sanity. Gaslighting once referred to extreme manipulation that could induce mental illness or justify commitment to a psychological institution. It is now simply defined as to make someone question their reality. Gaslighting. I put it to you that mass media is gaslighting the human race. Are you feeding your faith or your fear? Now, well, that sounds like, oh my gosh, like conspiracy theory. Where is he going? So go check into something called Project Veritas, if you haven't heard of that. Veritas. So you'll see that it's not conspiracy theory, but indeed a conspiracy. So this was a undercover reporter used one of these dating apps to connect with somebody in the CNN news network. And they went out on multiple dates and recorded this person's conversation on multiple dates. And it's now been put forth. And what it shows is this person who was, I forget the guy's name, from CNN was stating it, that they use the death numbers and they stick them in the side of the tallying, rolling credits on the side of the person speaking because it drives ratings. And when they were losing friction because the death numbers were going away, they started using case numbers because it drives ratings and it drives fear. Now, it goes into even more detail than that. I'm just sharing it to back up my point about gaslighting. What if you weren't listening to that 24/7, every single day for the last year and a half? What if you weren't listening to that? Would you be feeding your faith or your fear? Would you remember that you have the capacity to heal and be strong from anything? Now again, what you choose to do with your body is totally your business. I have no dog in that race. I choose not to do what they're asking me to do to mine, but that's my call. That's not it. Would you be doing it if fear wasn't driven in your face? That's kind of the point of the question here, right? So here's some reality checks. I forgot to bring it out. I was going to bring a prop. So I don't have my prop. Let's see. I'll just make up the prop. So the prop was going to be a $100 bill. If a $100 bill would be easier to carry than one single $100, so how long would it take me if I spent $1 every second for $100? Stay with me, because this is going to bring an awareness about these numbers that are hard, for at least for me, and I know for a lot of people, to process. These monetary numbers, right? So $100 would take me, if I spent $1 every second, it would take me 1 minute and 40 seconds. Boom, dollar. Take me 1 minute and 40 seconds to spend $100. How about $1,000? How long would that take? Every second, boom. Take me 16 minutes. Now watch this exponential jump. That's why I'm doing this, right? 100, minute 40. 1,000, 16 minutes. If I go to 1 million, $1 every second for 1 million seconds, it took me 12 years. So we went from 1 minute 40 to 16 minutes to 12 years. If I go from 1 million to 1 billion, $1 every second for 1 billion seconds, 32 years, approximately 32 years. Now, 1 trillion. Check this out. $1 a second of every minute of every hour of every day for 1 trillion seconds, almost 32,000 years. It's like 31,658 or something. Years, right? Do you get that exponential impact? Now, the reason I bring that up is to wrap your head around the power of those numbers. Now, those are seconds, dollars. The vaccine industry is a $1 trillion industry. The people that are pushing the gaslighting have hundreds of billions of dollars in that process, and they own media, and they keep driving an agenda. Wow, that's a lot. And for people who are telling a different story that's based on truth because they're not feeding corporate agendas, they're not dealing with billions and trillions of dollars in their back pocket. And that's why you don't get to hear about it. Yep. So again, this is just a PSA, public service announcement. For those that still know something inside that there's just not something right about this information, keep trusting that. Trust in yourself, trust in your ability, and remember, there's no virus greater than the power that's inside of you, right? God doesn't make no junk. So, on that note, I'm sure I wrote down some other thoughts that I was supposed to share. I don't know if they're there. Oh, there is one. So, Illinois has now teamed up with the state of Illinois, teamed up with Experian, who are now verifying vaccine passport information. Remember, Experian is the credit industry, one of the 3 credit bureaus, who not too long ago was hacked in security and millions of people's personal data was exposed. They're now the people that are identifying your medical records. Ladies and gentlemen, if you still think this is about your safety, your health and well-being, please wake up. Please wake up. If this resonates, share it before it goes away, because it does get censored by these $1 trillion industries. And if it doesn't, you're not here anymore. So until we play again, stay well, stay strong, stay healthy, keep smiling, enjoy your life. Abundant blessings. Ciao.